In this week's Warhammer 101 video, I'm going to show you guys how you can easily paint up your very own Salamander Space Marines. With very few colours used for the Salamanders, it looks like it's a straightforward paint job, but I'm going to add a little extra at the end to try and make them stand out a little bit more. But first, I sprayed the model with an undercoat of Halford's Grey primer, and when dry, Warpstone Green was picked out to paint the armour. With all my paints, I mix them with a drop of Lamb Medium and give it 2 thin coats to get a solid colour down. With the armour dry, it's time to shade in the recesses with Beeltan Green. There are 2 ways of doing this. The first way is you could just apply the shade all over the model. That will cover everything, but there's a lot of tidying up to do when it dries, and you can have some pooling up. The way I like to shade Marines is to shade each recess individually. This takes a little bit longer and needs a steady hand, but it's great practice, gives you more control over the shading, and the cleanup after is significantly less. I tidy up any loose shading with Warpstone Glow, and I'm ready to start edge highlighting with Moot Green. This part can be a bit tedious because there's a lot of edges and a steady hand is needed, but the results are worth it. The drop of Lamb Medium mixed in with the Moot Green makes this flow a lot easier, and if some highlights come out too thick, just go back to Warpstone Glow and tidy it back up. With the armour sorted, I switched to the black parts like the shoulder pad, the weapons and the under armour, and I used 2 thin layers of Corvus Black. I then shaded them with Nuln Oil, and originally I was going to highlight them with Eshin Grey, but it was a bit too dark for me, so I switched it up to Dawnstone. The silver parts were then painted with Leadbelcher, shaded with Nuln Oil, and then highlighted with Stormhost Silver. For the gold wings on the chest, I used Retributor Armour, shaded with Reikland Flesh Shade, and then brought back up with Stormhost Silver. The last bit was then the Purity Seal on the gun. I used Khorne Red, Reikland Flesh Shade and Evil Sun Scarlet on the wax seal. The parchment then was painted with Wraithbone, Reikland Flesh Shade and finished off with Pallid Witch Flesh. At this point the model was pretty much done, but I wanted to add a little bit more to help it stand out, and adding flames onto a shoulder pad is going to do just that. I started off by painting some flame patterns with Mephiston Red, and I took my time with this because I wanted to get the curves and the points just right. I then added on Averland Sunset, but I made sure to leave some of the Mephiston Red showing at the edges. Now the next layer I was a bit unsure about. I wanted to go between colour, so I made an Averland Sunset mix with White Scar, about 70% White Scar and 30% Averland Sunset. At this point I didn't want to add too much more paint onto the shoulder pad, but I needed one more layer to finish it off, and that was with Uriel Yellow. The basic Salamander troops are not too difficult to paint, but with the Space Marines, the trickiest part is always the highlights. I like how the flames come out, and it was a nice detail to add to make them shine a little bit more. But if you guys like this video, make sure to let me know in the comment section below, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and once again, thanks for watching.